Look. It's
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It's me.
You know what's weird is we had some good laughs going right before this, and then all of a sudden we start recording, and you just fucking lose your mind. You stop being funny, you stop being competent, and you almost barely even make sense just in what
Jake,
you're
it's
saying.
because you push me and you pull me, and I'm tired of your shit. Okay? You push and you pull. Yeah, it's all fun. It's all fun until we start recording. Then you want the world to know that you start pushing this agenda that Darren's a dumbass.
Darren, you don't need my help at all for people to think you're a dumbass.
But you want to push the agenda. That's
Darren,
part of it. It's manipulation.
pushing the agenda that you're a dumbass takes like the least amount of work out of anything I've ever done.
Is that so? Is that a fact?
It almost always comes down to just letting you talk, just letting you say a few things.
Okay, so alright. Welcome to Snickles. This is Darren, the blood red angry Snickle. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh,
Jake doesn't want an intro, so that's okay.
No, here, let me do it. This is Jake, the sick Snickle, the sickle.
The sickle.
Oh, Darren, that's weird how you didn't just assume right away that I was done because I didn't use a tone that sounded like my fucking sentence was finished. So, but it's interesting that I didn't just jump on you for not talking right away.
Well, you filled the podcast with some dead air.
You filled it
Right
with dead
after
air
I
too.
introduced myself, you went silent. You didn't say anything. And you're talking all this shit. You're talking all this shit before. And then as soon as I'm done introing myself,
Do we have our colors backwards? Isn't blue more of a West Coast thing? Hey Google, where are the Crips?
they're both over here. Both of them are over here.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Darren.
They're both over. Ask where the Bloods are. They're both over here.
Hey Google, where are the Bloods at?
Where the Bloods at?
Oh, she said they're in Los Angeles, Darren.
I know. I've been here. I'm here right
Hey,
now.
Google.
I'm
Stop.
with the shits.
So then, why did Tupac get killed? Can we get into it?
Why did he get killed?
Yeah.
It was obviously some sort of gang dispute.
I always thought it was an East Coast West Coast beef.
It had something to do with Biggie, is what people think. I mean, some people think it was a conspiracy because Tupac knew too much, is what people are thinking. I don't necessarily think that is a feasible. I don't know, because people think he knew but like, how much did he know?
I heard
How would you have to know too much to actually get fucking killed by the government? I just don't understand.
Towards the end of his life, he kept talking about how he thought the FBI was following him, and then when he died, they released files, and it turned out they were following him.
That is bullshit. That is not the truth.
What? Yes, that's what I've heard. I'm not saying it's the truth, but I'm saying it's what I've heard.
I forgot to plug in my laptop, and I'm going for it right now. Here we go, baby.
Right.
There we go. Snickles, here to stay. 2020. Out the
Darren,
closet.
I have a
Both of us out the closet.
I have a question that I really think that we should talk about.
Hang on, Jake.
Okay.
How's your week?
No, I need to talk about this before I talk about my week. Okay.
Mine's been good. I've been intermittent fasting.
Fine,
So
Darren.
I'm gonna eat right now. I've been intermittent fasting, which means I wear mittens sometimes, and when I have the mittens on, I can't eat, but when I take them off, I can eat. It's intermittent fasting. It's intermittent fasting. So that's how I'm going. That's how my week's going.
No, you really wanted to talk about your week, so I'll just let
That's
you do
all
it.
I wanted. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to talk about
it seemed
that.
like you had something really good to talk
No,
about. So
no, I was just no. That was it.
Just,
I was just letting you know.
No, you really wanted to talk about your week.
That's
so.
all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to let everybody know. It's a really good dietary plan. If you want to like lose weight and lose it quick, then put mittens on your hands for a couple hours in the day as long as you have the mittens on. So sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm about to eat. I'll reach for some food. You'll see the mitten. You won't. You'll try and touch the food. You won't feel the food in your skin, and then you'll be like, oh, it's because I have mittens on because I'm intermittent fasting. So. Yeah, that's
okay. No, yeah, I got that, but just if you wanted to talk about more about your week, because you seemed really, really excited about talking about your week, so I'll just let you keep going for it. If you had like something really interesting to say, or
oh god,
I don't know if you just had anything worth mentioning. I thought I'd just let you do it.
Looks like Trump's gonna be our next president.
Okay, so just if you had anything to talk about your week, I just
Jake, what are you gonna ask me? How was your week, pal?
Okay, I'll talk about my week in a second, but this is why haven't we invented toothpaste that doesn't taste like minty?
We have. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
You were being a jerk ass this whole time, acting like this fucking question was so important.
Darren.
And then you ask that fucking question that already has an answer.
Darren.
That we absolutely do. We got cinnamon toothpaste. We got bubblegum toothpaste.
Listen, there might be different flavors, but at the end of the day, are there any of those that you're gonna brush your teeth with and then drink orange juice? Would you do that with any of those flavors?
Probably bubblegum.
Okay, so if I send you bubblegum toothpaste, you will on pod brush your teeth and then drink orange juice.
With bubblegum, sure. Absolutely. Send it to my place.
Give me your address.
Okay, it's 1533402. You're not writing this down.
I've got it in my mind.
West.
I got a paper.
Harpenshire Avenue.
Yeah, keep going.
Tillamook, California. 91535.
All right. That's on the way. So if it gets there during this episode, we'll do it. If not, we'll do it next episode. But do you ever because I get that you're supposed to brush your teeth, but I hate doing it because I always want to eat right after, and it always tastes bad. Have you ever noticed that, Darren?
Yeah, I am a proponent of going non-mint. I don't like mint that much. I mean, like with ice cream, like mint chocolate chip, yes, absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely. But with like gum, I never fuck with gum, with mint gum. If someone offers me some mint gum, I'm like, no, thank you. I'll eat a peppermint, after dinner at a steakhouse. Only at a steakhouse, no other place.
And Darren is going to steakhouses 5-6 times a week.
That's all I eat. I'll sleep at a steakhouse, if they don't catch me. Yeah, I mean, I only get Trident Vibes has made this lemon gum, and it's honestly my favorite. It tastes like a nice cool cup of lemonade in your mouth, and it just explodes, pops. It's a 2-pop shot for flavor. And I highly recommend Trident Vibes lemon. I think it's like something. It's La La Lemon flavor is what the flavor's called.
Can I just say something? Can I say two things?
No.
Can I say one thing?
Next subject. Okay, yeah, you can say two things actually.
Oh, okay.
You can say both.
The first thing is that I like mint gum, and the second thing is that no one ever pays me in gum. My week.
Jake, those commercials are outdated.
I haven't watched the last time I saw a TV was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a big commercial at the time. People might not
I
remember
didn't
it.
understand. It was that and the Starbucks berries and cream commercial were like the two
Starbucks.
Sorry, Starburst.
Starbucks. Oh,
they might as well.
Here goes my secret agenda to make Darren look like a dipshit.
Starbucks might as well have made that commercial because they have that fucking weird like berry the like berry and cream drink now. The pink one, you know what I'm talking about? It's like solid pink. That's like berries and cream. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the Starburst berries and cream commercial was like the biggest thing ever. I thought it was kind of funny the first time I saw it. Then it was played every commercial break.
What?
And I was like, this
you're
is
probably more of a. You probably liked the Old Spice commercial more. You're more of an Old Spice guy.
Are you talking about the Terry Crews era?
The first one. Look at your man. Now back to me. That one.
Oh, with the guy from It Chapter 2?
Wait, what guy from It Chapter 2?
His name's like Brian Mustafa or something like that.
What?
The guy from It Chapter 2. The dude from It Chapter 2 who plays...
Oh, Bill Hader.
The guy who says...
Oh,
that's
Jessica
the fucking...
Chastain?
It's the same guy. Let me look at his fucking name right now. I'm looking at his fucking name.
Bill Skarsgård?
No. It's like Brian Mustafa or something like this.
I'm Darren, and I like alt comedy, so I don't like what's popular. I don't like the berries and cream commercial because everyone likes it.
Isaiah Mustafa.
Oh, Isaiah. Yeah, okay. Darren, can we just...
He was in both the the fucking Old Spice commercials and the movie It Chapter 2.
He was in the Red Spice commercials?
I didn't say that. I said and then I didn't say it.
Can I just want to say something on the topic of you being a dipshit, and this is something that I meant to say like 2 months ago probably. One time
you don't like Sonic because you identified too much with Dr. Robotnik. That's why you didn't like Sonic.
Listen, Darren.
And you felt attacked.
Oh my god. That's why you didn't like Knives Out, because you don't like everyone making fun of the alt-right kid. Speaking of It Chapter 2.
Oh, man. Jake, I just got your text about Sonic, how it says, Darren, you were right about Sonic. It's amazing. Also, Obama is a Muslim.
Darren, I love that original joke that you're doing. I love that original bit. Oh, wait. I just got your text. It says, I can't come up with my own jokes. I'm sorry that I'm taking yours. I forgive you, Darren. It's not your fault. That's just how you are. I get it. Can I just tell you what I'm trying to tell you about you being a dipshit?
I would rather you didn't, but okay.
I made a promise that I would tell you about this like 2 months ago, and I never did. Like, back when I was back in Colorado, I was scrolling through my girlfriend's phone on Instagram, and you posted an Instagram story, and I called you dipshit on her account. And
oh, that's right, yeah.
I never told you.
And I was like, wow. No, yeah. And I was like, wow. I only know Jake's girlfriend like via FaceTime chats every now and then from across the country. I've had like one conversation with her, and she's already comfortable enough with me to call me a dipshit on my Instagram story.
And she
I was
told
like,
me,
I guess this is the sign of a good friendship.
She told me to tell you that it was me, and I finally am.
No, she said something along those lines in the end. She was like, "That was Jake, haha," and I was like, "Right, okay."
Oops, wrong person. I meant to send this to my other friend Darren.
Oops, all berries and cream. Berries and cream. Let's
Berries
get back
and cream,
on that.
Berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Jake, where
Wait,
were
Darren,
you
will you
on...
put it right here? Can you do that?
I could probably do that.
Can you do it if I keep putting my hand here?
It'll go over your hand most likely. It would take master tracking editing to put your fucking... to keep your hand over the fuck... I mean, like, I can
just put
do
it.
it.
On the blue, dipshit? Can't you just put it on the blue? That's the whole purpose.
I can put it on the blue, but it would look bad.
Just put it right here.
Anyway.
Where are you gonna put it?
Where were you on that spectrum? Where were you on that spectrum of, where are you on this? I know you're on the spectrum. Where were you on the spectrum of enjoyment of the berries and cream versus the Trident Layers commercial?
I didn't realize there was a spectrum. I thought that you could enjoy, I believe that you could enjoy both.
Yeah, of course you didn't realize there was a spectrum. I know that, but that's why you're on the spectrum.
As with most things, I'd say I'm right in the middle.
Yeah, most spectrums.
I'm probably leaning a little bit towards berries and cream.
You can like both. It's fine. You can like both.
Yeah, but I did like berries and cream a little bit more. Because no one ever paid me in gum. That's funny, and it's surprising. But I feel like berries and cream...
I took you for a berries and cream type of guy.
Berries and cream you could watch like 3 times in a row, and it'd be funnier each time. No one ever pays me in gum. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, both very strange commercials. I mean, I appreciate those commercials. Like you said, normal comedy doesn't make me laugh. I only laugh at alternative comedy.
When was the first time you realized
Kevin Hart is my favorite comedian? What?
What was the first time that you just realized like you were a comedy asshole?
Definitely.
Like, did you have a moment?
Yeah, definitely when we started this podcast. Because then I was like, I have a podcast now. That only means one thing. And here we are.
Can I tell you about a real moment that happened to me that I was thinking about this week? When I was in 5th grade, all my friends were talking about how they like Family Guy more than The Simpsons now. And that was like the moment that I knew that culture had moved past me. That was the moment when I knew I would never be cool again.
Well, I mean, again, I don't understand what that word is.
No, dude, I used to be fucking fly as hell.
Yeah. You probably looked like a fly as hell.
Darren, I wanted to ask if you think before you speak, but I want to ask, like, if you think, period. Is that something that you're capable of doing?
I mean, what did you just say? I wasn't listening.
Oh, God. Look. I feel like, honestly, okay, if you want to talk about when we started the podcast, I feel like, because you feel like it makes you an asshole to do the podcast. I feel like it makes me a hero. I feel like one of those Make-A-Wish guys.
That's yeah, you're typecast for that.
One of those Make-A-Wish guys who's like doing a dying kid their like final wish.
They're doing a dying kid.
Yeah.
One of those Make-A-Wish guys who's doing a dying kid.
That's what Pamela Anderson, she did that one time.
Is that real?
This 6-year-old kid had cancer.
No fucking way.
No.
I wonder if that's ever happened. Like, I wonder if somebody dying who is like.
Can you imagine?
I wonder if there's like some sort of adult version of like Make-A-Wish, and like some dying person's last wish was like, I want to fuck Pamela Anderson or any like porn star or something.
That's what Jeffrey Epstein did before he killed himself. I just want to
Who do you think he fucked?
I want to make it clear for the record that Snickles does believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Who else would have done it? He was in a cell. A jail cell.
I know, there's no possible way.
I mean, come on.
Any foul play could have happened there.
You know the thing designed to keep people inside and the people outside out? Like the thing that's designed to keep people separated? You think someone just got in there and killed him?
Yeah, and you think You think the fucking the security cameras, like, yeah, they went out of power. Yeah, because it's power. Power's finite, okay? You can't get unlimited power. What are we, Thanos? Okay? It's not like that prison is like an all-powerful being. And, like, the guards, you know, they gotta take naps. That, of course.
Power can't be created or destroyed. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah. It can only be transferred, and probably while the power went out on the cameras and the power was heavily down in the guards' heads because they were sleeping, it went into Jeffrey Epstein's noose and just body energy and just created enough energy to ultimately kill him. And then it went transferred right back into the cameras and the guards who woke up right after. If you think about
it, that energy that was inside Jeffrey Epstein, it can't be destroyed, so it had to be transferred somewhere. So there's probably someone out there who has his energy now.
His bank account did just resurface like a month ago.
In the words of 311, Epstein is the color of your energy.
Whoa. Epstein is the color of your energy.
He was on suicide watch, and we really think it's insane that he would kill himself? Like, he was on suicide watch. He already tried to do it. Remember that?
Yeah.
Does everyone ever think about that?
Yeah. Like, he obviously had suicidal tendencies. It was obviously gonna happen. So, yeah, I mean, you know, they can only do so much. It's like, also, like, say the guards did, like, wake up last minute, you know, while he was, like, probably still dying. It's like, he's designed to stay in that cell, so it's a little bit harder to get in the cell, dummy.
It's not like a regular door. Like, that's
yeah,
what
it's not like they can
just
open it and walk in. They gotta unlock it.
Haven't you ever seen The Silence of the Lambs? Like, it's hard to get into a jail cell.
Absolutely.
Also, like, what I don't understand is, why did they think that someone would kill Jeffrey Epstein? Just so that the trial wouldn't go forward, so that he couldn't name the people who were involved, so that all those people wouldn't have their names in public, so that people would know that they were also involved? Is that really what people think?
Yeah. It's like how many people do they really think were involved? Like, we got Chris Tucker, Kevin Spacey. Like, those careers are already over. You know? Nobody cares.
Yeah, like what? You think Bill Clinton didn't want to be further involved in all of this, so he helped have Jeffrey Epstein? Well, okay, yeah, sure. That sounds realistic for a guy who can play the saxophone. I mean, he's a jazz musician.
He's a jazz hero. He's a hero of jazz.
So,
the Clintons are heroes, dude. They're absolutely.
Say it, Darren.
Oh, do we?
Say it.
I just can't. I can't say it without getting teared up. The Clintons are national heroes. They're worldwide heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, my week was all right. I'm sick, as you might remember from my intro. So,
you're not that cool.
I do have a license to ill.
Oh,
in
great stolen bit. You want to talk about stolen bits? Like, it's not like anyone ever saw that one coming. Jake steals a fucking Beastie Boys bit. Jake steals a bit from another group that already stole a music genre from another group of people.
Yeah, the Beastie Boys stole rap from Eminem.
Yeah, they were out way after Eminem, that's right.
One of them's dead, so the rights are free for License to Ill.
Yeah, it's like Epstein. He's dead, so now the rights are free for
anyone
Epstein
can go
Island.
to his island.
Anyone can, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also probably why he died, was so all those people could have free reign to his island. Just to, put up new properties and whatnot. Nothing bad, like, that's illegal. They can't do that. But, like, put up, like, properties, like, build new stuff.
I want to go back to this text that I sent you. Because I want to make something clear. I was talking about Sonic Drive-In. I'm talking about getting
You
grilled cheese, corn dogs, chicken cordon bleu.
You're just like upping the amount of unhealthiness with each meal you name right now. It's grilled cheese. Like, okay, it's a lot of bread, cheese, not that bad. Corn dog.
Yeah, dairy and
Dipped
carbs, famously a healthy dish.
dipped butter, but like the hot dog. Okay, it's not that healthy, but dipped corn batter wrapped in a mystery meat on a wood stick.
Wait,
Like you gotta tell. Like the wood is not healthy.
Hold
Jake.
on, Darren. Did you just say dipped batter wrapped in a mystery meat?
Yeah, that's how corn dogs are, right? That's how Sonic does them.
No, it's pork. It's an all pork Frank. It's an all pork hot dog. It's not a mystery meat that they wrap them in.
Who is Frank?
From It's Always Sunny.
Oh, they're wrapping it in Danny DeVito?
No, he's making rum hams that they wrap the batter.
He works at Sonic?
Yeah, he works at Sonic Corporate, and he makes rum hams that they send to every location.
Oh my god, so he's a one-man factory.
Yeah.
So what do they use the rum hams for?
To wrap the batter in.
But I thought you said it was pork. Ham is mystery meat.
No, ham is pork.
What?
Yeah.
Ham's what? Fuck. Okay, what animal is pork? Like
Pig.
what? Are you just putting? What?
Porky Pig, remember?
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah, that's his fucking maiden name is Porky. What the
No.
fuck are you talking
No,
about?
that's his given name.
Then what the fuck is mystery meat?
Mystery? I don't know. It's a mystery.
No, it's pig, Jake.
No, mystery meat is the meat that J.J. Abrams' grandma gave him.
Oh, his
Mystery
Schwadka?
meat.
Damn.
Yeah. No.
I gotta research this.
No, they just wrap it in pork, regular pork.
I don't. Okay. Well, anyway, move up from there. Chicken cordon bleu is a deep fried chicken wrapped in cheeses, which is in a sandwich.
No, it's not in a sandwich. It's
not
chicken,
in a
cheese, ham, breading, fried. It's just like that. It's just fried. You just eat it.
So Jake is eating it like a squirrel. For those not watching the video podcast, he is showing how he eats a chicken cordon bleu from Sonic, and he looks like a rat more than usual. He looks like a rat when he's eating more than he usually looks like a rat. Now he's licking his hands. I'm guessing that's actually what he does do during his eat sessions at Sonic, but
I don't know why my hands are so
you know,
salty right now. That's something to think
I don't know why
about.
your attitude is so salty right now.
It's because I have to do this dumb shit podcast with you.
Well, that's true. Jake,
Darren,
should we talk about movies?
yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to cover with me before we
I
get
do.
into
I do
reviews?
actually have something to talk about.
Okay.
Related to what we talked about last week. I thought this was actually unlike everything else that we set up to this point. You could skip up to right now. I thought this was actually interesting.
Yeah, so if you're listening, if you're listening to the
listening right
beginning of the
now-
podcast, just skip up to right now.
Yeah,
just
skip to right now.
A message to the beginning of the
Yeah.
podcast.
I'll just edit this in at the beginning. Here, let's just get one clean that I can put at the beginning. Skip to right now. Okay, I'll just put that at the beginning of the
There we go. Okay.
There was a science teacher who ate McDonald's every day. He said he was going to do it for 90 days as an experiment. He's like a high school science teacher, and he weighed like 260 pounds or something. So he's like, okay, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to eat McDonald's exclusively 3 meals a day. He decided to only eat 2,000 calories, which is, like the normal amount that a human eats. And it was going so well after 90 days that he did it for another 90, and he ended up losing 60 pounds.
Yeah.
He like dropped his cholesterol way lower, so
I mean, that dude was probably already eating badly to begin with, I would assume. But great. Yeah. There's a doctor, I think he was like Finnish or something. He wanted to prove that he wanted to prove to other health scientists that you can eat anything you want, anything at all, as long as the caloric intake is lower than
what you're burning.
What you're burning, exactly.
Yeah.
So he ate only Oreos for an entire month, and he lost like 60 pounds.
Oh yeah, this guy, he ate 2,000 calories a day, and all his exercise was just walking 45 minutes a day. So it's not even like he was like going to the gym and fucking like yoking his brains out. He was just like walking less than an hour a day. So I just wanted to bring that up because like not only is Morgan Spurlock an asshole, and his movie like isn't, it's, I just like, I don't understand why people give a shit about Super Size Me. Because like, yeah, if you eat 5,000 calories a day, you're gonna get fat. Who fucking thought? Who would have fucking thought that if you eat 5,000 calories a day, you're gonna gain weight and be unhealthy? Who could have imagined?
And have you seen Morgan Spurlock's body in the recent years?
No.
He looks like shit. Okay.
You know who has? People who didn't want to.
Yeah. Exactly. Was that recent years? I don't know.
I guess I'm not totally sure how recent it was. You're right. Let's forgive him.
Yeah, Morgan Spurlock, you're forgiven.
Speaking of...
great job.
On the topic of Jeffrey Epstein, let's talk more about fucking Morgan Spurlock.
Morgan Spurlock. I wonder if he's associated with Epstein. To be honest, bits aside, I truly do wonder if he had, because at the height of Super Size Me, he did have money.
Yeah.
You know, he probably had money all the way, because he made like 1 or 2 documentaries between Super Size Me 1 and 2, I believe.
He had a TV show where he would do different things for 30 days.
He did have a I remember watching the TV show. It was like, yeah, I don't remember what it was on exactly, but I watched a couple episodes of it. I always thought Morgan Spurlock was a good dude. Even watching Super Size Me 2, I thought he was a good dude. But I'm really glad you pointed that out, because it just means all of your heroes are frauds. Not saying he was my hero, but I just thought he was a good dude.
Yeah, I love this guy who ate 5,000 calories a day and gained weight and really opened everyone's eyes. Like, it just...
I think...
How fucking stupid. Like, imagine...
I mean...
Imagine I'm like, I'm gonna stop drinking water and just drink alcohol for every, like, all my liquid needs. Like, wait, it's bad for me? Who would have thought? I'm really gonna shock the world.
Shock the world, shock the world.
Instead of sleeping inside of my apartment, I'm gonna sleep out on the street while it's snowing, and it might not be good for me. Isn't that crazy? Everyone's gonna be so surprised. I'm gonna be nominated for an Academy Award for this.
Morgan Spurlock, make that documentary. Sleep in your car in the winter for 30 days.
Sleep on the fucking ground without a fucking blanket.
And not at Epstein's Island. Do it in, like, fucking Minnesota.
Go to fucking Fargo. Let's see you in Fargo, you piece of shit.
Not the TV show. We don't want that success for you. We want you in actual Fargo.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool that guy... I think it's cool that he's a science teacher who was like, you know what? I don't think this makes sense. I'm going to test my own hypothesis. And he went through with it, and he lost weight. And
yeah, truly, that is all it takes. I mean, we can... Maybe we'll touch on it again in Final Thoughts. I don't even know what the fuck we're going to talk about in Final Thoughts. But yes, if you want a diet, literally all it takes, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. All it takes is just eat less calories. I mean, count calories if you're going to take that route, you know, like... Make sure you're eating less than what you're burning. But, I mean...
There's 2 things to think about when it comes to a diet. Calories in and calories out. And anything else is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Except for the intermittent fasting. That's real.
Well, that's why I'm doing it, is because it keeps me on my toes about how many calories I'm burning. I don't burn my hands if I have my mittens on and I pick up something because I'm tempted. It might be hot and I'll be like, oh, I can't eat this anyway. I feel the heat emanating from the food onto my face, but I don't feel it on my hands. Not burning my hands.
Darren, is this
so I put it back down.
Is this a good time to announce that Snickles is actually making a documentary about you wearing mittens for 30 straight days?
Is this the announcement you were talking about last episode?
I have another announcement later, but I'm just asking if we should announce that we're making this documentary now.
No, we shouldn't announce it. Don't announce it yet.
We won't.
No.
We'll announce that later.
Okay.
Okay, skip to this point if you don't want to hear the announcement.
Okay.
If you don't want to hear what the announcement might be.
We'll give you some time to skip to this point.
Yeah. Darren, should we review things? Should you and I bring up things that we experienced in the past week or so that we want to discuss on the show, give a brief overview for, and then sort of give an overall rating on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing you saw it. Another siren. What do you know? Another fucking siren. Yeah, so
if you want to hear what we were talking about with sirens, skip to before the episode started when we were just talking off record. So just skip to then and you'll hear it.
I saw. I'm guessing you saw it too. What'd you see? You know what? Tell me what you saw. Because I'm sure you saw one more than I did, and I think we should talk about the movie that I think we both saw last. Because I only saw one movie.
Actually, I think that we should talk about my other movie I saw last, because it goes along with my announcement. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then I saw The Invisible Man.
I was gonna. Okay, that's fine. No, it's fine. It's too late.
What was your bit? Let's pretend. Okay, skip to this point if you just heard what I just said.
It really only
so
works
for
the video. So pull up the video and get to this point. And then I was gonna say, can I give you a hint for what movie I saw? And then I was gonna go like this.
Oh well, you gotta put the chair back in, or like slide the chair back in without you in it, and then there you go. Oh, he's behind it. But I can still see his shirt partially.
And then and then
oh fuck. Well, that's not an invisible man. I can see him. Get the fuck out of here, Mr. Tape. We're done with you. Yes,
so that's the bit I was gonna do. So just pick if you want to see that, then watch that. If you want to hear Darren just say that it was Invisible Man, just hear him say that. I guess.
We're making a deal. Another big announcement. We're making a deal with LifeSelector.com to put our video podcast on, so you can choose what you see first and
hey, Google,
when the
are we
gonna
be bigger than Bandersnatch? Yes, you said.
Nice. If you guys want to know more about it, just look up LifeSelector.com. Actually. That's a joke. Don't do that. Jake doesn't understand the joke, so don't actually go to lifeselector.com. Please don't. We do not. Don't go to lifeselector.com. That's a joke.
Darren's joke's going over about as good as usual today. Let's talk about fucking Invisible Man. Okay, just go for it. It starts out. This girl, Elizabeth Moss, she always plays crazy characters. She loves it. She's got these big eyes that look scared all the time. She just fucking loves it. She's running away from her long-term boyfriend who... It's fine that they're not married in the movie, but if they were, it'd be easier to just say husband because people understand that relationship more than long-term live-in girlfriend. Because, like, how long have they been together? I don't know. She's running away. She does it in the least thought out way possible. Like, she has all this stuff gathered into a bag, but she has other things she needs to collect that are hidden. So, like, why not just hide it all in one spot? I don't know. She's running away. A dog is chasing after her. It's got a shock collar on. She takes it off. Spoiler alert, it never comes back, even though it could be a cool way for her to attack him in the end. Just didn't come back. I thought it might be something worth. Nope, wasn't. She believes, well, she's told that he kills himself after she leaves. And then weird shit starts happening as she's staying at her friend who we don't really... Well, she runs away and she's staying with this friend. And then she hears that her boyfriend is dead. He killed himself. Yeah. Darren, do you want to take it from there? Take it from there, champ?
Yeah, we're doing spoilers and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
as always, we are doing spoilers. Because this is a conversation. The reviews are more of a conversation than a review. Yeah, I mean, and then eventually everybody thinks she's crazy because nobody can see the Invisible Man, but she knows he's there because he keeps leaving signs around where she is. He eventually kills her sister and frames her for it, which sends her to a psychiatric ward.
But not before she goes back to the house and finds another invisible suit. And she hides it in the same spot she hid her stuff the first time.
No, that is before. She kills her sister before. Are you talking about when she goes into the ward? Yeah, when she goes to the ward, that is...
She goes and finds the suit, and that's why she meets her sister. She says, I found something that can prove that he's...
Oh, that's true.
alive.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, that is true. It was actually... I'm getting my chronology of the movie mixed up. It is actually right after she finds the suit that she goes to meet her sister. And then...
Yeah, so she gets framed for her sister's murder. She gets arrested. Obviously, she's saying that she didn't kill her sister. Some invisible man did. So, she's going to be sent to the mental health ward because that's not a usual thing to be saying. Not something that's technically sane, if you really think about it. Yeah, so then in the ward... her late boyfriend, whatever. See, this is why it's hard to talk about who he is. I don't remember his name. Adrian. Adrian's brother comes and says that she's gonna lose all her money.
Tom is her brother.
Tom, yes.
Her name is Cecilia.
She's gonna lose all the money that he left her, except that it turns out she's pregnant, and if she keeps the baby, then everything can go back to normal. So she gets in her room, she steals a pen, and she's gonna fucking Epstein herself. And then the Invisible Man stops her.
Well, yes. I mean, that is actually 100% accurate, yes.
Yeah, the Invisible Man stops her. A bunch of guards try to stop the Invisible Man. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Moss, a.k.a. Cecilia, just lays on the ground, just watching all this carnage. Despite the fact that there's a gun within reach that she could just pick up and try to shoot him with, she just crouches there on the ground.
Well,
for
think about
like
it
5
with
minutes of action.
If the police saw her with the gun, think about that. And all these police were fucking getting just KO'd in the fucking
they were
hallway.
getting KO'd. They didn't have time to do anything to her.
One of them got shot. Two of them got shot.
If she just picked up the gun and shot, like, I don't know. I think it's fucking stupid.
Jake evidently hated this movie. What do you think of Upgrade, Jake?
I didn't see Upgrade.
Oh.
I didn't hate this.
You'd probably
movie.
hate Upgrade too.
I just think like that's it doesn't make any sense that this is like the pivotal climax moment and she's just fucking sitting there, just chilling.
I wouldn't say that's not the climax of the movie.
It's the
climax.
climax.
That's not the climax.
Sequence.
That's the climax, I guess, of the story, but that's not the climax of the climax. That's not like the highest. That's the inciting incident of the climax, I would say.
I don't know.
Anyway, as always, it sounds like I'm going to be defending this movie and Jake's going to be not defending, tearing it apart.
Darren, guess what? You can like a movie and think that there are bad parts in it. And that part is dumb, that she's just hanging out while she's supposedly trying to stop someone who killed her sister.
Anyway, what happens after that? She goes home.
They go outside. The Invisible Man gets in a car. She gets in a car. Somehow the Invisible Man gets to the house that she's been staying at way faster than her.
Well, he did leave. Like he left. Like.
But she's right behind the car.
Yeah, but he caused the accident. I thought the accident. There are a lot of leaps in logic in this movie, but there is the accident.
Here we go. Darren's attacking the movie, and I have to defend.
So the accident happened, and he just drove off. It took her like a fucking 2 minutes to get into the car. So he was like way ahead of her, and he's probably speeding.
He goes and attacks the little girl, almost kills the dad. The guy she was staying with, who again we don't know who he is. We don't know what his relationship with her is.
He's her best friend.
They never really I don't know. They never
that
really.
Seems obvious that it's their.
They
best
never say
friend.
where they met.
It's not obvious to you because you don't have any friends, but it is her best friend.
Darren, I have black friends. So they end up killing the Invisible Man, and guess what? It's Tom. Then they're at the police station, and what's the guy's name?
The friend?
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Hang on. I'm gonna look this up. Keep going. I'm gonna look up the cast of characters.
He's talking to her, and he's like, look, you might believe that this happened, but this is what actually what the official thing is. And it's like the Invisible Man was on James. It's like the Invisible Man was on top of you attacking you, and you're still saying it didn't exist. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, but nobody's gonna believe him either.
Yeah, but just she's your friend, and she's been through all this stuff, and he's being the cop who's you need to just forget all of it. She's been through so much trauma.
Also, that I think that's the smartest thing they could have done for her ultimate plan of the part we haven't gotten to. I think you mentioned it, but the part we haven't gotten to yet, where she ultimately goes back to her exes.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Because Tom was the Invisible Man who was attacking them, and they kill him, and then
It's
they
probably
find
both of them.
They find that
And I'll go
Adrian
into that later.
had been kidnapped and was tied up in the basement.
Yeah, but it's obviously that
how there was a body of his there was a picture of his dead body with his wrist slashed, never explained.
Well, he's an optics engineer. He's the highest paid optics engineer in the world. He could probably easily pay off the police to do that. I mean, if we want to get logistical, I didn't have a big problem with that one. If you want to get logistical about it, he could probably pay off several people to he's a billionaire. He could probably pay off several people to buy into that to the public. And two, he probably could have easily faked the photos because he's an optics engineer. He created a fucking invisibility suit.
Photos. It's not like they were just...
Well, like I said, he could have probably paid the police off.
It's not like Tom just showed up and got the pictures and was like, oh no, my brother's dead. Let me just show these to the police and they'll believe me.
No,
That's
it's not
how,
that. No, I'm saying I think Adrian probably paid off the police.
Yeah.
To take false photos.
Anyway,
he's a billionaire. He can do anything with that much money.
Cecilia goes back to him. They're having dinner. She pretends like she's gonna be with him again, that she was wrong. She then all of a sudden Adrian picks up a knife and slits his own throat, and then Cecilia comes back from the bathroom. And then they leave because he killed himself and everything's fine.
Yeah, just like Epstein.
Yeah, there was a video of it, video evidence.
Yeah. Just like Epstein, he killed himself and that's all you need to know about it. The end.
Somehow Cecilia's sister had a much more shallow cut to her throat and she died instantly, whereas Adrian had a much deeper gash to his throat and he took 2 minutes to bleed out.
Okay, that's nitpicking because that seems like nitpicking because
it's just funny.
We only see her sister's gash. I'm not gonna say that.
There's a brief shot of the gash. Her bloody gash.
See that.
It's the time when her gash is bloody.
Yeah, we only see it for
It's a brief period when her gash is bloody.
We only see her bloody gash for a couple seconds. And we see his for fucking 3 minutes. So yeah, we associate more with how we think his gash is looking rather than hers. It's only a gash flash. It's a flash of a gash for her, but for his, it's like it's a long time.
I think you could watch it frame by frame and you would see that I'm right. I just think it's funny that like.
I mean, he fucking like from across the table, he fucking nicked her good.
It doesn't matter how the speed at which you're cut.
Dude, it looked. I mean,
I'm not okay. Listen, I'm not saying it wasn't gnarly, but I'm saying like it was just as gnarly when his throat was slashed.
And it doesn't matter with the speed away. That's not all. That's also not logistically.
He survives
correct.
for a long
It
time.
absolutely. If you're dealing with sharp objects, it absolutely matters how fast you make the cut. Because if you make a cut like with full force, like super fast, it's gonna go deeper a lot easier. If you make it slow, it's gonna.
It wasn't as deep.
Well, I don't know if I don't know. I
watch the movie again.
I wasn't looking that
hold
deeply
on.
in it.
We're gonna pause for a second. Darren's gonna go watch the movie again.
Also, it's dramatic effect too.
Yeah,
the
I
fact
get
that
it.
he
I just
died
think it's
slower.
funny.
Anyway, let's
Derek,
talk
you
about.
can like this movie and still think that there's ridiculous stuff in it. Okay.
Oh, I do. I'm about to go into that. I still think there's
Basically, she gets away with murdering her ex-husband, who was just or ex-boyfriend, who was just kidnapped the whole time.
And she used the very invention that he created to ruin her life to do it. Okay, I'm gonna get into the
invention he created, what his brother used, and he never used because he was kidnapped.
Well, he probably. Anyway,
I'm an Adrian was kidnapped truther.
Okay, one thing I was thinking, like, before I saw the big twist that he wasn't dead and he was kidnapped, was the part where she is at his house, and she's hiding the other suit. I'm like, okay, how the fuck was he just driving a car as an invisible man from the fucking, like, hit her town all the way to the bay over here, and he just followed her in? And then the twist happened, and I was like, oh, it's probably him at his house following her around.
Yeah, it was the two of them, probably.
Yeah, it was probably the two of them.
Switching roles.
I think this is, I don't know. I think it did what it did not everything it could. I think it did a pretty decent movie coming from a monster movie remake of being a comment on abusive relationships. That's pretty apparent that that's what it's going for. I thought that it symbolized a lot of what happens in abusive relationships pretty well, but not necessarily as good as it could have, because it does, like, for instance, at the end when she goes back to him, I was like, oh, that's a true statistic. Most abusive relationships, when somebody is abused in a relationship, they end up going back to the abuser, which is a really sad fact, but it is true. And then ultimately she used that to kill him, and I was like, okay, narrative technique, that's fine. I wonder what could have been done to show the dangers of going back into that a little better. But, it was a narrative technique, and it gave her a satisfying ending, I think, because I was happy that she ended out on top. And yes, I mean, it does go into it touches very slightly on drug addiction in abusive relationships and substance abuse. Just a little bit, not too heavily. And but the thing that it really talks about is the ability to reintegrate with society after you have been abused for so long, what it does to your mental state after you've been abused for so long, and what it does to those around you, because when you start letting these things take hold of you, other people, you can start alienating yourselves from other people, alienating yourselves from the world, and I thought it did a really good job of showing that, above all. I thought it played as a very good updated remake of a monster movie in general. I mean, I don't know what else it really could have done. Like, when I heard that there was an Invisible Man remake, I always get a little skeptical, because I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be campy. But I'm glad that they got Leigh Whannell to direct it, the director of Upgrade, which I thought was very good. Pissed a lot of people off. Very polarizing movie because the ending was arguably very bleak. But I think it philosophically was going for more of an idea than a narrative. And I think this was kind of bridging the gap for him of going for an idea and a narrative. But ultimately, it was more a narrative movie. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought there was some logistical leaps. Like, for instance, the car accident. I was like, when that guy crashed in the car, I was like, one, this guy got out of the car so quick after being on the phone with his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And two, she's able to drive this car with no airbag. Like, the airbag didn't go off after careening into another car. Also, things that pissed me off were just, like, character flaws mostly. Like, Cecilia's... how she forgot the pill bottle. I was like, oh, that's going to be a huge... I mean, it obviously was... It forwarded the narrative, so I wasn't that mad at that one. The one that I got most mad at her about was the fact that she left everything up in the attic after she found it. I was like, that's hard evidence.
That's something else I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Something my friend brought up is... So, she's sitting in her room on the floor with all the coffee spread out, you know? And then she goes, oh, wait. And she grabs a home phone, and she calls Adrian's cell phone. And then it rings in the attic. Then she goes up into the attic and finds all that stuff. With the hard evidence, like pictures of her sleeping that she couldn't have possibly taken. With, like, dates and times and everything on them. She doesn't ever use that. But then she dumps the paint on him. And then she, like, runs out and calls an Uber. So, did she use his cell phone to call that Uber? Or did she...
Yeah.
Did she also have her cell phone, but she decided to use the home phone to call his cell phone? Or...
Yeah, that whole part, I was just like... I had my hands in the air going... Like, I think people behind me in the corner, like, were staring at me like, what the fuck? Because I was like... Because everybody in that fucking theater was texting, too. That was my theater experience. It kind of sucked, but everybody was fucking
This was
texting.
The movie that I saw where people were just talking at, like, a regular volume for most of the time.
Oh, my God. That's horrible. I'm lucky that didn't happen for me. But,
yeah,
as I was watching that part with the Uber and everything, I was like, what? Fucking take something. One of the phone. Take the fucking phone. Keep it with you. Show James. He's, like, get a hold of James somehow and show him the pictures.
Also, I think, okay, I know it does sound like I'm just shitting on this movie entirely, but I did enjoy parts of it, and I'll get to that in a minute. But, like, I had, like, so many little logistical, like that scene where there's the knife on the counter, and then all of a sudden, like, the frying pan starts, like, going up in flames, and then the knife, like, falls down. But where does the knife go? Like, is he just standing there holding the knife? Like, the knife was on the counter, and then it goes behind the counter, and then where does it go? Like, is he just standing there in the corner?
I think he slipped it. I think he slipped it off, which is another part where I was kind of like, is he just doing this to
onto the ground? Because we see shots of the ground when she runs in to deal with the fire. Shots. Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
When they're yeah, because I was looking very closely to try to see this knife.
Oh, I don't. He might have taken it. I mean,
but how would? Well,
that could have been the knife. Because that could have been the knife up in the. I don't. No, I don't remember seeing shots. I think he just took the knife.
I get that he was supposed to take it, but where would he put it?
No, yeah, I don't know. That was another one I had some questions about. I didn't super mind that one though. Like, but that was ultimately the knife that was up in the attic later, right?
I get that, but also, like, he's invisible. He could take that knife at any time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think, like, there was just a lot of. I think it's cool how they use science to explain how there's these cameras, and they didn't, like, go too in depth in it because, like, everyone gets, oh, there's cameras. They're, like, making it seem like he's invisible. I think that's cool. But I do think it, like, invited a lot of questions that I'm not sure the movie, like, always answered. Like, how was he always in the room? Like, when they just open the door and she walks in and then they slam it behind her, like, he's in that. How is he always in the room? Like, just being invisible doesn't mean that people can't feel you and that you can, like, pass through walls. It just seems like sometimes the logistics, like, didn't make sense. And I do forgive it for a lot of it, but there were times when I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But okay, let me get into, like, my real what I liked and my big issue with this movie, I thought there was some really cool moments. I really like Lee Wenhall. Is that his name?
Leigh Whannell?
Leigh Whannell.
Leigh Whannell?
He's the guy. He's one of the guys who created Saw, one of my favorite franchises of all time. One of the best movie franchises ever. Darren's just looking at me like he doesn't understand what I'm saying. So
I mean, okay, that's fine. A lot of people think Saw is underrated.
I'm just saying, like, I do like him, so it's not like I'm biased against this movie. And I thought there were some really cool moments. I thought, like, that scene where she's been thinking that he's invisible, and then she's outside, and you see her breath, and then you see his breath right behind her. Like, that's really cool. The problem is, I'd seen trailers for this movie probably, like, literally at least 50 times. Because I've seen it so many times when I go to movies, and then at the train station right by my house, they have video, like, billboard things. I don't know what you call them. They're small, like this like the size of like a TV, and it's always on there. So I've seen that clip so many times, and it's like, how could this possibly be effective the 51st time that you see it? Like, it's not, you're not going to care about it. So I think that there are really cool things in the movie, but I've seen all the cool stuff a lot, and then the stuff that isn't in the trailer I think is not the best. Like, there's logistical issues, or it's just kind of dumb. And so, like, it's a movie where the movie itself, in my experience, they're not on the same level. Because if I just saw this movie context free, it'd probably be like an 8.5 movie for me. But
okay,
with the context, it's lower than that, because, like, I don't, like, do I hold that against the movie? Not the movie itself, but, like, that was their marketing strategy. So I don't know how you reconcile all these thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I didn't get that much advertisement from this movie before I saw it. I had not seen the breath thing before I went to see the movie, but I was still expecting it. I was like, oh, because when she walks out, her breath is showing, and I was like, there's a reason her breath is showing. It didn't look real. I was like, also the breath looks CGI. There's a reason they put it in, and in my head I was like, the reason they put it in is obviously because there's going to be another source of breath that she can't see, and that's going to be proof that he's there. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I expected, but I think I think ultimately the horror of the movie was the fact that I enjoyed the horror of this movie because I ultimately expected things that didn't happen, which kind of put me in her shoes a little bit. I was like, oh, he's gonna be like that door is gonna open in the back, or like in my head I was like, he's gonna sit down right there. We're gonna see a compression in the cushions or something, and a lot of times, sometimes it did happen, but I would say most of the times that I anticipated something to be happening, it didn't. I think that's a really useful tool in psychological horror because it ultimately kind of puts you in the shoes of the protagonist who is constantly dealing with the crisis of whether or not she is crazy. And I started feeling crazy when I was like, he's going to be right there. And then he wasn't there. And yeah, I thought it was really well done psychological horror, in my opinion. I thought it did a good job.
Because of the marketing, like, there really wasn't anything that surprised me in this movie. And again, like, that's not the flaw of the movie itself. That's the marketing and all of that. But also, like, it was marketing for the... So, I don't know. Also, I feel like they could have played with the idea of, is she crazy or is he actually there, a little bit more. Anyway, should we give it...
I feel like they did... I did want to talk about that. I do think in my opinion, it seemed like they did all they could to kind of put in, is she crazy or is he actually there? For instance, like, every time somebody died, she was near like the weapon that he killed the person with. You know what I'm saying? Like when during the hallway scene, like she was on the ground next to the gun, and I know that made you mad, but it's still like people died and she was on the ground next to the gun, and I was wondering if it was playing that narrative game where it's only in her head that she's like the victim and it's really her up shooting everybody with the gun, with the second gun. And then the part with like the knife, slitting her sister's throat, it's like she ultimately, like, in the end, she had the knife in her hand, and I was like, huh, is that going to be the twist in the end? Like, she is actually crazy, and she's doing... And, like, I thought that would have been a really strange narrative to put on relationship abuse, ultimately, and I'm kind of... Part of me is glad they didn't do it, but I also think they probably could have done different things, but the fact that they used those scenes to... kind of make it seem like it's going to do a Fight Club-esque twist in the end made me think like they wouldn't do that for this type of subject matter, so it's probably not going to happen. So I ultimately found, like, in my head, I thought she's not crazy because why would they do that for this subject matter? Anyway, give it a rating if you need. Or yeah, go with what you're about to say.
I just think that there could have been a few, like, that scene where she spills the coffee everywhere and then he doesn't come in. I think like that's a cool scene because that does make you be like, maybe he isn't there. Like, not because at that point I think as viewers, I mean it's fucking called The Invisible Man, and again like we've seen all this shit about it, so like obviously he is there. But I think they could have done like a few more things where she expects like what you're saying. She expects this thing to happen. And so she's like trying to show people, or she's like trying to capture it in some way, and then it doesn't happen. I feel like just playing that up a few more times would have been interesting. But yeah, then she gets like the solid proof, and then she never fucking does anything with it. So I don't know.
Well, part of me was like, if she did turn that in, that would end this movie like super quick. I feel like this movie would end a lot faster.
Well, then why is he taking these? Like, why did he take those pictures? For what? For what purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's another reason I thought that was weird, you know?
It's like weird because I can get, he's pulling the covers off to like make her seem crazy. The pictures, it's just, is he jerking off up there? I don't know.
He could be.
That also include like an underage girl. Yeah, so overall, she could have heard creaking in the attic or something. Like, I don't know. If he's walking around up there doing shit. Again, he's invisible, not weightless. I think it was a good horror movie. I think that in like 5 years, it'd be a good horror movie to be like, oh, you never saw this? Let's watch it with like a friend, and they won't know too much about it, and they'll be like, oh, that was really cool. But from my experience, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Because I did enjoy it. I think it was a good horror movie, and I'm not sure, because I know that they were trying to make like a universal universe, the Dark Universe, and I think that they might still be trying to do that with like Blumhouse in charge, because I think they're making a Frankenstein movie next. So I'm interested to see like where this could, because I think they already have a sequel, The Invisible Woman, like in the works.
Strange. Okay.
Yeah. So. That's like really interesting to me, and I don't know if it'll be good, but I want to know what will happen. You want to give it a rating? Like I said, it probably would have been like an 8.5, 8-ish, if I hadn't seen any trailers for it.
Yeah, well, I was gonna give it an 8. Yeah, because I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I hadn't seen that much advertisement stuff about it in the first place, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an 8. It was super solid movie. Just a couple of logistical errors there that kind of, bugged me, but ultimately, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I was really tense, and I think that's it's nothing about it is comfortable, but I think that is the exact point of the movie. Anyway.
Yeah, so in November, they did announce that there'd be a sequel, The Invisible Woman, with Elizabeth Moss starring, which also, like, I try really hard to not let that sort of thing bug me when I'm watching a movie, but it is like, this is a horror movie, and I know that she's in the sequel already, so like,
Oh,
that
I
does
didn't
take
know
a
that.
little bit. It does take a little bit out of that suspense, right?
I didn't know that either, but so that means they're gonna make her evil or an anti-hero or something? I don't know.
Or she's using the invisible suit for good. I don't know.
No idea.
Anyway, okay, well, I had another movie to talk about, but we're pretty... Maybe I'll talk about it real quick. Like I said, I haven't been feeling well, so I've just been trying to watch some, like, like sick movies that you watch, just like some lighthearted stuff to just get you some giggles, get you some whatever.
The sickest movies, yeah. Like Air Bud. Air Bud's tight, dude. Did you watch Air Bud? Are you about to give an Air Bud review?
No.
Oh, fuck. Alright, well, stay tuned. That episode's coming up. We will give an Air Bud review.
I watched Scary Movie 1, the first one.
Great.
You know what the thing about this movie is? Is it's fucking funny, dude. Like, Scary Movie is a funny movie.
Do you think... Which is your favorite scary movie?
I don't know how many of them I've seen, and I don't... Like, I saw the original Scary Movie when I was in, like, middle school. No, I was in 5th grade when I saw this the first time. Which is kind of crazy, because this is a fucking horny movie.
Yeah.
You see the gym teacher's balls.
Yeah, you see, like, there's a geyser of semen in this movie. Yeah.
Got me going.
This movie is insane. Sometimes this movie translates to me as, like, gross out humor, in my opinion. But, I feel like you can judge a lot by a person by what their favorite scary movie is.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm going to have to say 3. I think Scary Movie 3 is my favorite.
Is that the one where George Bush pees out of his finger? Or is that 4?
I think that's 3, yeah.
Okay. That's always funny to me.
There's a lot of funny gags in the Scary Movie movies. And they got, like, horrible reviews. I didn't see Scary Movie 5 with Lindsay Lohan, but I'm told that one is just atrocious.
The premise of Scary Movie is kind of weird to me, because it's like, oh yeah, we're going to make a parody of horror movies, but we're also going to use Scream, which is, like, already deconstructing the genre, which is, like, it's weird
it's already
in itself.
Yeah, it's
like,
already basically a parody.
Works.
Yeah.
And I like just the mashup between that and, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then all these tropes, and then just, like, the funny little things. It's a funny movie. I have a friend who gave it a 1-star review, and, like, just get over yourself. Like, oh, I love film, I'm gonna give Scary Movie 1. Like, fuck you. This is... If you watch this and you didn't have, like, some fun, you're a fucking asshole. It's a fun movie.
There you go.
I mean, it's not perfect. It's not great, maybe even. The fucking the Usual Suspects twist at the end. That's so funny.
I know, it's really funny.
I'd give this movie, like,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I'd give it 1 out of 5 because it's the first movie. No, I'd give it like a 7.5 probably, because it's just like, obviously it's not the best film. Like,
because there's, and I do think that with all the Scary Movie movies, there's a lot of gags. Yes, they're very funny, but there's still a lot of gags that are not fucking funny. Like, I don't have any idea why they put some of this shit in there.
Can you think of any?
Like in Scary Movie 2, the part with they use the hand so goddamn much. The weird hand, like when he mixes it and shit, it's just gross out humor at that point. It's not for me. It's for some people, but it's not for me. And then David Cross's whole character that he just, like, wants to fuck even though he's in a wheelchair, and, like, then people just start bashing on him that he can't fuck because he's in a wheelchair. It's just weird to me. It's not really, I don't know, it's not really that funny.
But
that's more Scary Movie 2.
I feel
that's more.
I feel like, not that every frame is necessary. Every frame is a painting in this movie. But, like, I feel like almost everything works pretty well, and like it does what it sets out to do. So you can't love Sonic and then be mad that there's gross out humor in a scary movie.
Jake, I will not redact my review.
I'm not asking you to redact your review. I'm just saying if you're gonna be like, oh, I love a movie for what it's supposed to be.
I could redact my Sonic review later down the line. We'll see. We'll find out. Maybe I'll do a re-review of it.
Yeah. So
maybe
like
I won't.
7.5. It's a fucking funny movie, and like the plot is actually like fairly engaging too, which is, I think, somewhat rare. And I mean, yeah, that twist, that the fucking Usual Suspects twist, like that is a moment where you're like, oh shit, like that's actually genuinely pretty satisfying.
Is that with Doofy, who's supposed to be like David Arquette's character in Scream?
But he's like mentally challenged. Probably not the word they would use for it. Also, apparently, who made this movie? Was it?
It was the Wayans brothers, I believe.
No, I know it was the Wayans brothers, but I'm saying.
Oh.
I think Miramax bought 2 separate scripts that were both like parodies of like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and a bunch of other horror movies. And then they were like, "Yep, we're gonna mash these 2 together." And they were like, "Yeah, They like gave the Wayans brothers this other script that they bought, and then the Wayans brothers never even read it. But the other guys got credit, so that's interesting. Yeah, this is a fun movie. And this leads me into my announcement, Darren. Is it okay if I announce this now? Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know how to say this. This is my last movie announcement, Darren. I've said everything that there is to say about films. I feel like after reviewing Scary Movie, I've hit all the highs, I've hit all the lows. I'm sick of being negative on things. So from now on, Darren can still review movies, but when he does, I'll just be stone silent. So expect more food reviews, more games. I'm not even gonna say the word movie again on this podcast. I'm not even gonna talk. Even in what I did this week, I'll never mention that I've seen a movie. I'm just over it. I feel like it's run its course. We've had like 90 episodes or something.
No, we're at 77 episodes now, I think. This is 77.
70, 80, 90, whatever. I think it's played out. So yeah, no more movie reviews from the big cat, Jake.
Jesus. Okay. Well, shit. I'm surprised by that, but at the same time, I've always kind of thought of our podcast as an all-around review show. We review experiences, we review foods, we review, world leaders. We will review people.
I feel like we've gotten away from that a little bit.
And I think we have too. I think we've really we've doubled down on the movies and the TV shows, and we should be reviewing like more food and experiences. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the movie reviews will still probably be there, but
maybe for you.
But we're gonna focus more on other.
You can do whatever
reviews.
you want. I don't care.
Thanks, Jake.
I'm just saying, for me, they're done, canceled.
That being said, tune in next week, everybody. Jake, do you have anything to plug?
No, never. Listen to Snickles. What? Look up on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram.
Spread the word,
Facebook,
guys.
Mark.
Spread the word, guys.
If you just want to tell your friends to listen to it, tell them to skip to this part to know where to find us.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at Snickles Moviecast. Follow us on Twitter at SnicklesCast. You can follow me on Instagram at DareBearSanchez. You can follow Jake on Instagram at GetJakeToSpace. You can follow me on Twitter at DarrenSucks. Don't follow Jake on Twitter because he doesn't have one. And we're also going to have some merch coming out pretty soon. Some pretty fucking sick merch, too. Like,
yeah.
I am, like, stoked about it. It's going to look pretty cool.
Keep your eyes out for that one. Maybe we'll have some giveaways.
Maybe some giveaways. go to www.snicklesmoviecast.com. When we have it up. We probably won't have it up by the time you hear this, but you know, at some point we will have it up. We'll let you know when the merch is up.
You can also just go to the website whenever you want, because there's fun stuff on there.
Yeah, there's lots of fun stuff. So anyway, final thoughts. Treat yourself. If you have a goal, do something this week that forwards that goal. Fucking buy those hiking shoes, or, you know, go to the shoe store. If you can't afford them, just go to the shoe store. Try them on, you know? You don't have to buy them. Go on a run.
Go to the shoe store. Try them on. Put your old shoes in the box. Give them back to the sales clerk. Walk out.
Make sure you put some gaiters on so that they don't see that you're wearing the new shoes. If you're trying to write a script, write that script. Trying to write a song, write that song. Put together the instrumentals. I don't know. Just start practicing. Do something. Do something to help yourself this week.
Jared, I just realized you look like the album cover for El Paso right now. Is that what that album's called? An album that Darren and I both agree is one of the greatest of all time.
It's actually called Gunfighter
Gunfighters
Songs and Trail Ballads.
And other ballads or something.
By Marty Robbins. Another bit of my final thoughts. If you haven't yet, listen to that album. You can find it on Spotify. If you find it on vinyl, then you are a lucky motherfucker. Listen to it, please, on vinyl. And also hit me up and see if you can sell it to me, because I don't have a vinyl player, but I still like that vinyl.
Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs is what it's called.
Fuck!
That's right.
One of the best albums of all time, though.
It's fucking bookended by two absolute bangers. Like, name an album.
Oh, and there's bangers in between as well.
Oh, there's bangers in between for sure, Darren. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. There's fucking bangers to and fro on this album.
Oh,
but name an album with a better opener and closer than Big Iron and fucking El Paso, dude. Like, start to finish, Marty. Just from the fucking jump, from the jump ball to the finer buzzle, Marty's just going off, going hard. One of the greatest.
Doesn't get much better than Marty Robbins.
What else is there to say?
Yeah. Anyway, Jake, are those your final thoughts?
No.
Okay, go.
My final thoughts are this. If you're trying to lose weight, there's lots of fancy diets out there about cutting out different parts of food and all of that. Fuck it all. Just eat less and exercise more. If those diets help you because you need like the restrictions or any of that, then that's fine. If it's a diet, if you're like pre-diabetic, so you're cutting out sugar, or you're celiac, so you're cutting out gluten, that's good. But otherwise, like, all that is just fucking. Maybe some of it has some science, but like, really, if you're just trying to lose weight, just eat less and exercise more. That's all it fucking takes. You can Venmo me $100 because I'm giving you more information than Dr. Oz does, and that fucker's had that show for like 10 years. Yeah, so I think, like, diets, maybe this goes to what you're saying with your goal. Like, diets, you, like, buy a lot of stuff. It's like, oh, we have, like, specific, like, lean cuisine food or whatever the fuck you're doing. It's just a way to get your fucking money. Just eat less and exercise more, okay? That's all I have to fucking say.
Sometimes it's easier said than done, though. You're not gonna. A diet means you're going to suffer a little bit, but that suffering is going to strengthen your power of will, and it's going to get easier as you go. That's all I'm saying. As a guy who's dieted before, it fucking sucks. Dieting is suffering, but you can get through it. Once you get through it, it's so fucking easy. It's like second language to you.
As someone who's just born with a great metabolism, fuck you all.
All right, Jake, get us out of here.
Darren, I announced today that things will be different going forward, and I just want to announce that things will be the same going forward, okay?
Okay. Alright, that's the ultimate announcement, I suppose.
The rumors of humanity will fall free.
Oh. We're back to this one. Bye, everybody.